evening, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of Headkicks and Haymakers. I'm your boy Bodkins, and of course, with me, as always, is Mr. Bobby Blunts. Bobby, we did. If you were looking for the 324 post show, we did that on Saturday. So check that out immediately after this show. We have a very rare back-to-back PLE cards, Bobby.
Well, it's a back-to-back number event. It is a PLE is the fucking shit you're watching this weekend in Saudi.
That might be true. You know, I'm going to be tuning into the Rumble on Saturday afternoon, and then I will be tuning in to obviously the UFC 325. I actually will probably miss the Rumble and have to watch it back. Kids got wrestling tournaments, so I have to actually watch real wrestling and then come home, watch the UFC, and then maybe Sunday, since no football, I'll be able to watch the Rumble. So, that's the plan. But I will be tuning in. You're right, back-to-back number cards. You know, I like to call it PLEs just to grind your gears. This one is UFC 325, all the way back in Australia, headlined by none other than the Australian featherweight king, Alexander Volkanovski. And, here we are 6 months ago, maybe less than 6 months ago. He's running it right back with Diego Lopes in a fight that I think we can both kind of agree we didn't really need to see. We felt like there's better, I don't want to say better fights, because I do think this fight's going to be good. The first fight was pretty good. It wasn't like it was a stink fest, but maybe more deserving opponents than Lopes at this point in time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to disagree with any of that, especially because I was pretty vocal about it when they made it in the first place. But at the same time, I have kind of sold myself on it, mainly when I was like doing the end of year rewatches and stuff, when I went back and revisited the fight. And, I do think it's a little more compelling than I initially thought when I heard it getting announced. But at the same time, my whole thing was always with Volk's career. You never know how many are getting left. So like for a legacy thing, and a guy who's had so many rematches, why don't we try to give him fresh matchups, especially when there's some fresh names. But, we know this company all too well. It's I think this is penance for the Sean Strickland Drickus card that they did. I think Australia was very clear, like, hey, we're paying the site fee. We want to see Volkanovski, and we want to see, an amazing style-friendly fight. And, Diego did get one in on John Silva prior, so it's not like he hasn't had one. But I'm sure we'll get into that later. But I'm sure that's also kind of the sentiment we've seen almost everywhere with this fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Volk called for Lerone Murphy. He called for Mozart. It seems like he's still kind of calling for Lerone, or at least to get that fight booked versus each other. Then he would want the winner if he survives, if he wins this fight. It seems like this card, they've definitely built it. Australia versus the world. In fact, I'm looking at it, Bobby. Only one fight on the whole card doesn't have an Australian, and that's Rafael Fiziev versus Mauricio Ruffy on the main card, and we'll obviously talk about that early. But other than that, it is very much Australia versus the world.
And ironically enough, Ruffy is kind of like an Australian at heart this week, because he pretty much did his whole camp with City Kickboxing, and he isn't with the fighting nerds for this camp. Something we'll definitely get into when we break down that fight. But the point, and the only Australian on an Australian matchup is because of an opponent fallout. So they've done a pretty good job at kind of giving the crowd what they want, a chance to see their people win.
Yeah, the Australian versus Australian is the kicks off the main card. But let's stick with the prelims here. On the main prelim, you got Junior Taffa versus Billy Eklana. You always got to have a Taffa on the card, it seems like. You got Cody Brundridge versus Cam Roston. The fight I'm looking forward to, Torres Finney back in action. Mr. Contender Series himself. And he's taking on Jacob Malcone. Torres Finney is actually slight dog in that card. We've been following kind of Obon Elliott. He's coming off the loss. He's a dog on the card as well against Jonathan Milcalf. So it'd be interesting to see if he can bounce back off of that unanimous decision loss. He didn't look great. Is there anybody or any fight that you're looking forward to on the prelims here? Not as quite as stacked as 324, but still, a decent undercard here.
Yeah, I mean, they still filled it out with the Australian guys. If I'm not mistaken, the first 4 fights on the card are road to UFC finale matchups and stuff. That's why I think there's a little bit extra fights compared to normal. Compared to the normal card there. So those will be interesting in the aspect of they'll remind you kind of a lot of Contender Series where the guys kind of throwing it all out there. And they'll definitely want to get in. I, noticed the one guy with the face tat. I think
he was on the Contender Series. He opens up the card. Aaron Tahu maybe.
And if I'm not mistaken, he lost on Contender, or they did.
I think so. Yeah,
but knowing that the gym he's from and stuff, I kind of expected to see him back there some way. But as far as ones I'm looking forward to on the prelims, you kind of hit it with the Torres Finney Jacob Malcoon fight. I'm glad to see Finney in a crowd with the Apex vibe, but they're also bringing him in as kind of the American they're hoping to lose because they're matching him up with the hometown guy. But as we've seen from Finney's promos and stuff, he's very kind of WWE based. So I think he'll embrace that, and like he said, whether they're booing or cheering him, he's gonna get into it. And he definitely wants to have a better fight than he did last time in his debut. So
I mean, Dana's looking for any reason to cut him. You know what I mean? He's gonna have to come out and show something.
Yeah, I mean, everything I hear from his coaches and stuff, they really always praise his work ethic and stuff
DC,
like that.
I think he's working with DC. DC's said he's been working with him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that too. So that's, I don't know. I'm just kind of interested how far it can go because he does have kind of the cult-like following of having to come back, multiple times within the season and everything. And then the Obon Elliott match is interesting too, just for the bounce back factor of what how he's going to respond to the decision loss, which he lost unanimously there. And the Cody Brundage is always in exciting fights as well. So I kind of get why they matched him up with Rouston there. And but really, it's more. I think the entire prelims are built stylistically to be very entertaining, and they'll kind of go through quickly. So I think it'll blend in pretty nice with the main card. And you kind of alluded to it with the Taffa brother headlining the prelims. I don't know. I wish him the best, but I'm kind of done with seeing the Taffa brothers in Australia.
I mean, it's the only place they're allowed to fight, I feel like. You know what I mean? So I think one Taffa brother got cut, did he not?
I should probably be more up on my Taffa brother knowledge, but I'm not. I would kind of assumed if you cut one, you'd cut both of them. So He might still be kicking it around, but
It's not an Australian card unless the
yeah.
Toffa brothers on there.
Well, at the same time, I guess I should be happy. They didn't put him on the main card, and they kept Ty on the main card at least. So
Yeah,
that's a win. But at the same time, you also know what you're getting with a Toffa brother fight. It's a fight that will end very quickly, whether it is from a Toffa brother or the opponent finishing the Toffa brother. That's another question. But I'm sure it will be good for how long it lasts going into the main card.
Yeah, hopefully. I do think they'll start the main card quicker, right? Like, I know it's going to start at the time-wise 8:00, but I think the first fight will start quicker because we're not going to get the whole Paramount Plus, all that extra bullshit that we got last week.
Well, yeah, for the main card, I would expect it to be a little bit more. They kind of used that whole Paramount thing, and they went back to the desk. There's absolutely no I think part of the reason they did that was to give Dominic Cruz some extra mic time and stuff. So I would expect it to be a lot more kind of streamlined. And as we went over on the post show, if you're bitching about the commercials, to switch over the multi-view. They haven't put it on.
I also think they'll do a little bit of I think we're going to see a little bit more walkouts, at least on the main card, right? Like, I think they'll probably listen to some feedback and maybe fix some of that, hopefully.
I'd be surprised if they were to do that within just 1 week, but I will happily praise them the following if they do it.
Yeah.
But, as I said last week, I think we kind of know what we're in for. And it's, especially when it used to cost a couple grand if you were buying all the pay-per-views in a week. So.
Right. I mean, in real quick before we get into the main card, I actually put that in the group chat. How many new viewers? They gained 1 million new subscribers on the day of UFC 324. So if you're Paramount, you got to like that.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how many, other than the U.S., how many other places are through Paramount or not. Because I know they have multiple deals everywhere else.
I think just Canada, maybe. Can't remember. Maybe not Canada. I can't remember. It was just the U.S. and maybe Mexico or something like that. There's only 2 countries.
Yeah, and I mean that's definitely a good number. I know for a fact multiple people that subscribed because of it. So
but that's not including people like myself who I subscribed a month prior. You know what I mean? I didn't subscribe the day of, so I wouldn't have Paramount Plus if it wasn't probably for that.
Yeah, and I think an equal amount of people also canceled their ESPN Plus. Almost immediately, and but they're gonna. It was good to see that they were kind of willing to adapt to some stuff, and I'm sure they'll work all that stuff out. There were kinks in the beginning of the ESPN deal, so I'm sure that will all be a lot more smooth. But I think the main thing is just the card staying intact as well, which, knock on wood, hopefully it does. But that's why we started the Paramount era off with an hour and a half at the desk. So with the extra 4 fights through the road to UFC, I think they'll probably start with the fighters in the octagon.
Yeah, let's jump into the main card here. We got this only you mentioned the only Australian crime here. It's Quillan Salkilld, who is, the last time we saw him might have had a knockout of the year worthy performance. He's 10-1. You can see the heavy favorite at minus 10,000 here. And you got Mullarkey at 18-8, plus 625. I think Salkilld, Mullarkey's taking this on short notice, like you said, and but the world seems to be high. They were already high on this Salkilld kid before, and now they're putting him in the prime spot, the opening of the pay-per-view instead of the prelim. So he kind of actually got the bump up, I guess, up in kind of competition to kind of see where he's going to go. But he's kind of been to me, the big prospect coming up right out of Australia.
Yeah, I mean, especially when they go back there like once a year and stuff, they would really prefer for him to pop. I can't remember who his original opponent was. I don't believe it was like a huge jump up or anything like
No,
that.
let me look. I wonder. It should be on Tapology. I can't remember either. I'm gonna look on Tap. Well, what's an SAL?
Yeah, I mean, why you find it all as far as the breakdown of it, I mean, the line kind of explains it all. He is a heavy favorite, has the power, but basically Mullarkey has like one main style, and it's kind of to sit in there and trade. So I'd would not really expect this to go to decision, but at the same time, if Quillan can't get him out of there early, maybe we do get a 15 minute war. But I think most likely the main reason this was elevated to the main card is because the matchmakers had a pretty good idea that they were going to get a quick finish to start off the night. So give me Quillan here.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I was trying to. Sometimes I like Tapology, but it's not the most user friendly fucking website.
Normally if you scroll down to the very bottom of the card, it will mention like who pulled out or something.
Yeah, I think if you just click on here, finally, I just had to get to his name. Wrong Zihu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean it's not like it was a huge, step down from Mullarkey, but at the same time, coming in on short notice like that, I think the main reason they had to do this is because of the short notice. They had to find someone local and stuff that was already there, because it'd be too much, to get acclimated and all that. Because a lot of these guys have been here for multiple weeks that are visiting.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm right there with you though. I like Salkilld Quillan by, I think he gets him. I think he puts Mullarkey down and kind of keeps the buzz going here. I mean, the odds kind of show you that he's the guy. And to me, he's the one prospect. We've kind of talked about it last week with Gutierrez, some prospects to keep an eye on, and he is definitely one that you're signing up to kind of watch and see.
Definitely.
Let's get into actually, here we go. The next one here, it is back to the heavyweights and the return of Mr. Shui himself, Tuivasa, the number 12th ranked heavyweight. Somehow he's ranked still 12. That shows you how bad the heavyweight division is, Bobby. Man, my guy Ty has not won a fight. You want to guess the last time Ty won a fight?
Hey, isn't he on a 6-fight losing streak or 5?
1, 2, 3, 5-fight losing streak.
Yeah, that's brutal. Yeah, probably like 3 years or. You there?
Oh, there we go. I think we're good. Okay. Are we back? We were cutting in and out. You good?
Yeah, I see you.
Yeah, you're cut. I don't know if it's me or you. It is 2002 was 2022. Sorry, was the last time Tai Tuivasa won a fight.
Yeah, I mean, I know he took a year off, or at least so that might be a little bit of but yeah, I mean, a multiple losing streak. His very style friendly, so that's definitely why they still got him around. He definitely looks like he's in really good shape. Apparently he stopped drinking and he's on a pretty serious diet and stuff, so we very well might get a new tie, but at the same time it's that type of losing streak and stuff is really hard to know if he's ever going to come out on the other side of it. The guy he's fighting, Teixeira, is still, I guess, kind of green and new to the UFC. You know, spent some time in LFA, and he got his win on Contender Series. But that Derek Lewis fight, you know, I know there were some people complaining about the stoppage and stuff, but at the same time, I think with Ty's losing streak, it's kind of really hard thinking about it going back and forth there. But I don't know. As far as picking this, I really want to see like Ty get back on the other side, but just with the age difference and stuff like that, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to, you know, really right that wrong. Do I got you back or?
Yeah. Can you hear me? You can't hear me? I can hear you, but you're choppy. I'm going to restart. Hey, just stay online. I'm going to restart my computer. Keep talking.
Okay, for sure.
Talk about God knows what. I'll be back. Hold on a second.
Word. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I would much rather to see Ty get on, you know, the right side of a losing streak here, but I just don't really know if it's going to happen against this young guy. I would say if I were to put any hope into it or anything, you could kind of acknowledge that, you know, Teixeira was kind of rushed a little quickly in the main event against Derek Lewis, and he came up short there. So I guess there is just as much of how does he bounce back from this scenario. And Ty only knows kind of one style of fight. You know, he's going to stand there and just bang it out, not worry too much about defense or anything. And Teixeira's style is also more just coming forward and trying to knock you out and finish you as well. So I don't know. When it goes to picking this, I'm probably going to have to go with Teixeira, though my heart would absolutely love for Ty to get back on the right side of a winning streak. I mean, he looks like he's in the best shape of his life. I know there are a bunch of memes about him when he wasn't fighting and he was blown up and they'd see him in the arena and stuff. But he definitely seems to be taking it seriously. It was kind of weird during the embedded to see him be cutting weight. I don't think I've ever seen him have to cut weight or anything like that. So the more and more I talk myself into it, I kind of want to just say, you know, screw the young guy and go back with Ty there. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. We'll see when Botkins gets back who he picks and if he's able to sway me. But I might have to go with the youngin here.
You're going with Teixeira.
I do, but like at the same time, I really don't know how I have like any confidence in picking him, especially with Ty being on the losing streak. Like that should like kind of speak volume. But especially knowing that he's like got kind of going to engage in that fight. But I think the thing tripping me up the most is the shape and how like serious Tuivasa is taking it.
I feel like this is a must win, right? This is a must win. Like you're in Tony Ferguson range if you lose this 6-fight losing streak. You haven't won a fight in 4 years. His last win was against Derek Lewis, who Teixeira just lost to. So
yeah, and I no disrespect, but that is crazy that he is still ranked with not fighting. Maybe it's just because, like you said, Derek Lewis remains ranked, so they feel a need to keep him in there because he has the win. And then, of course, Teixeira is. I almost also can't believe he's ranked, but at the same time, you know, look what we're talking about here.
Yeah, there's only 20 heavyweights. You know what I mean? So only about 5 guys aren't ranked.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. My heart of hearts would really love to, like, just for like the card's sake, especially if Ty could get that victory. Just imagine how even more batshit the crowd would be and stuff. So
yeah,
it would really do nothing but like help the event.
Yeah, Bobby, it is time I'm going with my guy, and I'm going with the dog on the card. I mean, I might have lost it last week in Derek Lewis, but everybody's doing shoeys on Saturday night in Australia. The losing streak ends for my guy, Tai Tuivasa. He's the dog on the card at plus 280. Tai gets it done. He knocks Teixeira out. We're all doing shoeys Saturday night for Tai Tuivasa, baby. Load up the beers and the shoes. We're pounding them down. The losing streak ends. The crowd's going to go crazy, and Tai Tuivasa is back. Because if he dinks him, he's going to sink him, baby.
Well, if you're, throwing the dog of the night on it, there's absolutely no fucking way in hell I'm taking Teixeira. So fuck him. Let's get Tai a victory.
Let's go, baby. I mean, plus 280. I mean, whether he's dog or not, like, that's the juice worth the squeeze with Tai Tuivasa, I feel like.
I guarantee you, if you look up his knockout, it's probably lower than that. So, I mean, because that's how, he's getting the victory. So, it's and at the same time, with that losing streak, it just kind of shows you what type of fight this is going to be, that these odds aren't wider. Because, if think about like a middleweight or a welterweight on a 5-fight losing streak, that would be a huge inflated number. So definitely, some juice for your parlays.
So Tai Tuivasa by knockout. They don't got it in. They don't got it on here yet. Fight to go the distance is plus 650. So.
Yeah, that'd be such a horrible thing to bet on, because if you did do that, you would pretty much be accepting that this fight is going to be rough. But then again, like that also might be some sharp ass action if you look at like how in shape Tai is. But
yeah,
that would be
good.
A wild one.
I mean, like about 6 months ago, I thought he was quitting MMA and doing sumo wrestling. What up, Brandon? So, that was on MGM. They didn't have those odds. I'm gonna look here. There was no odds on ESPN on UFC. I know when I was putting the show together, there were no odds on the UFC.com page. So that,
the only last time they did that is when a fight got flagged for betting. But I'm sure they won't tell you that, and neither are they going to mention it with their,
Okay, so actually, Tai by knockout, you might, if you're going to bet Tai money line, you might as well bet Tai by knockout. That's plus 350.
Wow. Yeah, that's wild. I would just play that why not?
Yeah.
Juice the odds.
Yeah, I'm betting that right there. So give me Tai Tuivasa plus 350 with the knockout.
Easy money.
Yeah. Teixeira is minus 225. If you really want to go crazy, Bobby, Tai by submission plus 3,500.
Yeah, I mean, some people want to live, so imagine hitting, like, the dopamine off hitting that, like, even if you bet $1 would just be insane.
Oh yeah, I might do that. That would be Tai by decision plus 1,800. That's not bad. So there's that.
Good Lord.
So we're all riding for Bam Bam, baby. We're all riding on Bam Bam. I convinced you to ride with me on Bam Bam.
Yeah, no, I don't have the heart to go against him. I don't care how many he loses, and
we need it. The sport is better when Tai Tuivasa's around.
Yeah.
We need fun people in the sport. I feel like good people. He's one of them.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Love the Josh Hokett slander.
See, we need more people like Tai Tuivasa than Josh Hokett out here. Guys who just want to fight and drink beer, have a good time.
Is this the co-main or is Fiziev?
Oh, wait, you're right. I missed it. I need to go down one. Yep. The third fight on the card is none other than Rafael Fiziev, the number 9 ranked lightweight, 13-4. Fiziev's not bad, plus 100 here versus number 14, Mauricio Ruffy, 12-2, minus 125. The last time we saw Fiziev, he lost to Gaethje, if we remember. But I felt like he got a win in there somewhere. I have to double check. And the last time we saw Ruffy, he got his first loss in the UFC by BSD, who we'll talk here in a minute. I want to make sure I'm right on Fiziev. Whether I can't remember if he got 2 in last year or 1. I know we lost to Gaethje, but I mean 2 is 13-4. 2 of those losses is to Gaethje. You know what I mean? So
yeah, he had one. He fought in Qatar. I don't know why I'm blanking on the opponent, but I know
it's Bamahides, but it was what's his name? Ain't Bamahides? Isn't it? Remember Bilal's boy?
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, I forgot all. That was he won that, obviously.
Yeah, he won by unanimous decision. Yeah.
And that definitely looked, because that one that was like a showcase for him. Hey, I'm an idiot. It's not. It was in Azerbaijan, not Qatar.
Yeah, that was on the Hill Roundtree card.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, this fight specifically, but the top 3 fights are the main reason you want to tune in for this.
Yeah.
This is kind of all the juice that you're getting out of it. The odds kind of tell the story with this. This should be very close stylistically. Ruffy was on one hell of a run, and then they did the double booking of the Fighting Nerds in France, and he looked okay until BSD made the calculated decision to take him down, and about nothing he could do there.
I don't think nothing Fiziev's ever done says that's his style, and I think stylistically, this is Fiziev now is fighting down twice here, and to me, like this is a perfect matchup for Ruffy to bounce back almost, right? Like stylistically, like Fiziev's not somebody that's going to want to doesn't really grapple a whole lot.
Yeah, which is probably part of the big reason they booked it, to be honest. And then like Fiziev, we forget how good he is, he's
good.
He like people always forget, like the original Gaethje fight was, he took that one on short notice, but with Hooker falling out.
Yeah, that last year's fight. Yeah, the first stuff.
Yeah. So and having a full camp like definitely matters. So I really think this is going to be like a reminder of how good he is, but at the same time, with his fight style, it's also kind of going to bring us back with what we think of Ruffy, because like he's one of the easier fighting nerds for me to root for and stuff. He just seems to fight, you always kind of like wonder what they were going to have with him, with the wide stance and stuff. But then when he got audited with the wrestling, I think it really cooled a lot of like breaks, and the fighting nerds were like also going through a losing streak. But John Silva just got back last week. But I think it's also notable that Ruffy kind of made the decision to go a little nomad here, kind of like Ian Gary has done in the past. You don't see this that much. I really wish these guys would do it more, because they obviously know what their strengths are, and it only benefits them to kind of work with other people on stuff. So I think him working with Volk is kind of going to instill a different type of confidence in him and stuff. But is that really going to matter? Because like we also know the work Fiziev has put in. So I think this is actually a low-key contender for fight of the night.
I was
And
going to say the same thing. Yeah, this could
yeah,
very well be. I would not be surprised if this is not fight of the night. I wouldn't, I think this is a one to tune into.
yeah. And I mean, the odds kind of like sum up my feelings with it. It's so much of a pick 'em. I mean, to me, plus 100 might as well be a pick 'em here.
Yeah.
But, odd wise and stuff, Fiziev has one hell of a chin. And I don't know.
Gaethje did not knock him out in either fight. You know what I mean?
And I just really question if Ruffy is kind of going to be able to land that fight sequence ending shot. And if it goes to points, I think I'd be a little bit more comfortable picking Fiziev. So with it being so close, I think that's what I'm going to ride with.
Yeah, if you remember, too, the last year when he fought Gaethje, he hadn't fought in over a year because he was coming off the injury. So that was just like the third fight coming off the injury with Fiziev, right? Like, so he had, he lost way back in 23 against Gaethje. He lost a majority decision. Then he tore his ACL at Gamrot, and that's when he got hurt and lost that one. Then lost the return fight against Gaethje in a unanimous decision, which, he looked good in that. There was times and moments, especially the first round, I remember looked pretty good in that fight.
He looked so good. That was the definitive factor in why I was always going to be picking Justin Gaethje over Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah.
He looked that good.
So he's looked good. I am interested to see the game plan he employs because, like, we saw the big hole in Mauricio Ruffy's game, right? Like, BSD took him down and just, over and over again, then finally submitted him. So I'm interested to see if Fiziev will do any wrestling. Again, that's not normally his style. His style is to kind of stand and bang with you. This is going to be a fun fight. Ruffy will definitely have the reach, right? And we'll kind of see if he goes back to that kind of long style. If Fiziev can get inside, man, I do think this fight is going to be a fun one. Who are you picking here?
I went with Fiziev in the end. It's razor close, but when he fought in Azerbaijan, his movement looked really good. Like, it seems like he's kind of fully recovered. So I'm not like really too concerned about the injury, which is why I feel a lot better about it.
Yeah, I'd like him to get this win and then fight back up in the rankings. Here's a name for you. Maybe he's got to win this one first, but do you put him, and we'll be able to talk about this next week, but if he wins, Paddy Pimblett, Fiziev Paddy?
I mean, I don't get me started. Like,
we'll talk about that next week if he wins. He's got to win first.
I think they're going to be very cautious with Paddy's matchmaking for his next fight.
I'm with you. I like Fiziev. I think Fiziev gets it done. I need to see more from Ruffy here to see if he corrected the big holes in his game. This is, another step up in competition. And he failed the first step, right? Like, I guess if you want to say against BSD, and then I think Fiziev and BSD are very similar as far as like competition level wise.
You could make an argument it's even more difficult than his last opponent. So yeah, but then like you also got to give credit to Ruffy for that because this ain't a layup,
No, it's not.
Very tough fight.
Stylistically, though, it's a better fight for him, though. Like stylistically than like a grappler,
Yeah, for sure.
So I like it. I think we're speaking the same language here as far as like this is a fight that you're gonna want to tune in and see because it's going to be a fun one. And speaking of fun one, Bobby, it's the co-main event. Quick turnaround here for Dan Hooker coming off that loss against Arman Sarukian, the number 6 ranked lightweight. the gatekeeper. I mean, the ultimate number 5, number 6 gatekeeper, Dan Hooker. I feel like all the time. 24-13. He has literally fought you name it. He's fought him at lightweight, plus 275, taking on Benoit Saint Denis, who is, to me, I think we gave him honorable mention, or maybe we gave him the award for comeback fighter of the year. I think I might have gave it to him actually last year because of the 2 losses, and then what he did last year, just the bounce back year that was for Benoit Saint Denis. He looks so improved, having the 3 wins last year. Obviously, finishing Beneil Dariush back in November, and so not, pretty quick turnaround for him as well. Taking on Dan Hooker here. I mean, one thing that we've learned about Benoit Saint Denis is like he's great on good on the ground, and we know he'll stand and fight too. Dan does not want this to go to the ground. He's going to want to go, keep this fight standing, obviously, because he loves that shit. It'll be interesting whether Benoit Saint Denis obliges to that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why Dan Hooker's on this card. He's not gonna turn down the opportunity to fight in Australia, but I'd be lying if I didn't think this was too quick of a turnaround, especially when you mentioned like the who's who of who he's fought. He's taken a lot of damage, and I'm sure he wouldn't have it really any other way. He's
right.
Pretty vocal about his fighting style and how he likes it. But the odds kind of just give this one away from me here, because I feel like the odds indicate that, well, you would think Benoit Saint Denis would just take him down. And I don't know how Benoit Saint Denis does not watch the Arman Sarukian fight and immediately know that that's the move. Now, that would probably be like the most common thing to go with, but we have, and this granted was when he apparently did not really have a team or a real head coach, but he has also not done the smartest thing at times.
Yeah.
So I do kind of wonder, is Dan going to be able to bring that firefight out of him? Because if he is, I mean, this very well could be fight of the night worthy.
It depends. If BSD decides he's not going to go to the ground and he's going to get into the fire with Dan Hooker, then absolutely it's going to be a fun war.
Yeah. And I just wonder, he'll probably employ it for a while, but I just have to go with BSD here. It's it would not shock me at all if Hooker could grind out a decision and just make it so much more of a dogfight, and him take 2 out of the 3 rounds. But
his last 2 wins. I mean, Hooker's won 3 out of his last 5, and 2 of those were split decisions against Gamrot and Jalen Turner. That Jalen Turner fight was so fun.
And you mentioned him, being the comeback of the year. I think the big part of that too was of how high we thought of Benoit Saint Denis. Like, we literally thought he would have already had a title shot by now. And then obviously when Poirier got the finish, that set him back. And then Moicano sent him even further back.
That was the fight to me. Like, there's never, when you lose to Dustin Poirier, like, there's never, you know what I mean? Like, there's not, like, that's an okay loss. You know what I mean? Like, there's no, you could, you can't hang that's one of the best fighters in, ever, really, you know what I mean? And Dustin Poirier. So when you lose to him, to me, your stock doesn't go down. Now he did get knocked out, but he was kind of winning that first round. He even fought that fight with staph infection. BSD did. He had real bad staph, if you remember.
Yeah. And then I think it was actually Moicano who had this shoulder injury, in
Yeah.
that fight, and he pretty much went balls to the walls because he knew they would probably call it in between rounds.
Yeah.
But that did seem to be like the matchmaking to get him back on track, and
And
that
it,
couldn't have gone worse.
yeah.
So, but at the same time, the Ruffy fight made me really forget about all that stuff, and I really do think you can see it's working with
And
his
then the
team and
Dariush
stuff.
fight on top of that, after that, even.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this is going to kind of get him right back in line to be close in the top 5 and kind of be one away from being able to compete for a title. So I expect Saint Denis to be able to get it done in the end. But it really wouldn't shock me if we're sitting here next Wednesday talking about Dan Hooker, winning another war. But give me DS.
The ultimate gatekeeper in Dan Hooker. Speaking of Dan Hooker, here's his losses in the UFC, right? Like we said, he's kind of fought the who's. Arman Sarukian, obviously, last time, so the number 1 ranked lightweight right now. In probably, did lose to Arnold Allen, but that was at featherweight. He did that stupid experiment where he was going to drop down to featherweight, and that didn't work out very well. But I mean, Arnold Allen, as we know, is a top, featherweight in the world. Lost to Islam, so the 2-division champ. Did lose to Michael Chandler. I mean, at that point in time in 2021, probably not. That's not a bad loss. Like Chandler fought for the belt twice.
Yes, and that I was just going to say that because for a lot of people listening, they're like, "That's a terrible loss."
Yeah.
Back then, that was actually very that was not as bad of a loss as it kind of has aged. Not to bag on Chandler, but go ahead.
No. And then he's lost to Dustin Poirier, who we just talked about as being one of the top lightweights of all time.
Probably a best Apex fight ever.
Yeah, the best Apex fight ever. Yeah, and then he lost to Edwin Barbosa, another legend in the game. Outside of that, I guess way back in 2016, he lost to Jason Knight by unanimous decision.
And Arman Sarukian, who is,
I said him. I said him at the first. Yeah,
should be ranked number 1. I just wanted to say it one more time so people heard.
Yeah. So I mean, Dan's lost to kind of like his losses are to dudes. You know what I mean? And he's been in some wars, and he's a fun fighter. But eventually those wars kind of catch up to you, Bobby. And I think maybe I kind of want I'm torn, right? Because I kind of want BSD to engage into the fire. Because I just love the types of fights where it's a fucking phone booth fight. And
to be clear, I think BSD could still win like that. It would just not really be the wise move.
Yeah, the wise move is to try to take Dan down and submit him, right? Like Arman did. And we know BSD can do that. Give me I'm right there with you. Give me Benoit Saint Denis. I think he can win this as well. I don't know if he gets Dan out of there. Like I don't think Dan's gonna get. I don't know if he'll be able to knock Dan out, but I think he can win by decision at least, and maybe submit him.
Yeah, full disclosure, I thought this was gonna be the dog mess. So.
Oh, you thought Hooker?
I just because the more and more I match him up, like I do think it's a winnable fight for Dan, even though we've kind of seen the grappling limitations.
Yeah, it is like you said. If we sat here next week, would I be surprised if Dan Hooker won the fight? No, I'm not, because it's just like, well, that's Dan Hooker. You know what I mean? Like, it's just who he is. He wins fights.
6 months ago, we would have heavily favored him in this.
Oh yeah. 6 months ago, a year ago at this time, I would have said Dan Hooker by miles. Yeah, exactly. Let's get into the main event here, and none other than is the returning champion, the King of Australia, cooking with Farmer Volk, and featherweight king Alexander Volkanovski returning back to Australia, and he is taking on Diego Lopes, the number 2 ranked featherweight, 27-7. They fought. I'm gonna give you the exact day they fought last year. It was probably
in
less
the
than
Miami
6 months.
card.
You said the Miami card?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
April probably.
April 12th. Good call. Good shout, Bobby. So almost a year ago. Almost, 10 months ago or so. 8 months ago. Whatever. So, and here we are. Diego did get the one in before one in. After, as you mentioned, he beats knocked out John Silva. That means that if Silva had won, we're probably seeing Volk versus Silva, but nonetheless, here we are. It is Diego Lopes versus Alexander Volkanovski again for the featherweight title. Bobby, I mean, we said that we've kind of let even the top of the show probably should be Lerone or Mozart, but here we are. It is Lopes versus Volk.
Yeah, but I'm a glass full kind of guy. And what you just said, if John Silva won, he probably would have got the title shot. I'm actually grateful that we're getting this rematch on Saturday.
Oh, look at you being positive in 2026.
Hey, I said I would be a little. So, and yeah, it's not Diego's fault. Like, I do not begrudge Diego at all for taking this.
No,
like,
I don't either. I mean, if they offer you a title shot, what are you supposed to say? No, it's supposed to be Lerone or Mozart? No, you're fucking going to take your fucking title shot. And they don't just hand them out. Well, sometimes they do, but.
And I'm used to the media, like, not really having, like, a good set of questions, like, ready. But the amount that were literally just about, why are you fighting for the title? It was just like, oh, at least he got out of there in time,
Yeah.
I would say, like, man, his English has improved so much. I mean, he did the entire interview in English. Some questions were translated to him. But, you kind of get the math. The UFC would love.
I think Ben Folks was like, they did ask. He said, because Diego's like, you got to ask the UFC that question. You know what I mean? Like, why I'm fighting for the title. And somebody was, I think it was Ben Folks was like, they did ask the UFC, and the UFC said, don't like it, don't fucking watch.
Yep. And, which, yeah, at the same time, I'm just hoping, like, they got that all out, and the press conference will not just be that, But, I don't know, like, when this fight originally happened, I was very critical of Diego's game plan. He just kind of let Volk lead him around the cage the entire time, did, like, absolutely no cage cutting. And every time you rewatch that back, it's almost even more infuriating. But at the same time, it's the reason I really hate this rematch is Volk is just a year older, and Diego's kind of best chance to win is obviously to get him out there and catch him with one. We saw him do that in the last fight when the one time when Volk backed up directly, Diego caught him.
Yeah, it was almost like when Ilya and Islam caught him.
Yeah, it was in the second round. It was early in the fight, and decision-wise, like, Volk won it unanimously. But when you watch back the entire fight as a sequence, and then you parlay it with the John Silva win, I guess all I'm saying is I just kind of understand a little bit more why we got here, even though for us it is still kind of like an eye-rolling thing of, why does Volk's next opponent have to be the guy he just fought last?
Yeah.
And the odds, like, if you go off the odds, it is kind of wild. Like, with how Volk had that success, he's only a 145 favorite. I mean, I think that's just kind of telling you too, with the extra year and stuff. So it's pretty wild that there have only been 5 featherweight champions. I mean, I had to triple check that when I saw that.
Shit. So you got Aldo,
Connor,
huh?
Connor, Max, Volk.
Ilya.
Yeah.
Those are the 5?
Yeah.
Aldo, Connor, Max, Volk, and Ilya.
And I think this is a huge reason why Ilya got so much shit for vacating the title like he did, because everyone's always known that title to have a lot of lineage when you look at kind of the champions and stuff. But, you know, kind of different era and all that. But that is like a hell of a kind of, you know, Mount Rushmore to have your name next to.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think Diego can actually get this done. Like, the more and more I go back to it with just how, if Volk is going to lose, it's going to be with him getting caught and moving backwards. And the thing that really makes me hard to go against this is just knowing how well Volk has always done in rematch. I mean, obviously not counting Islam, but that was
I don't count that. That was not even.
But you know, you just look at like the Max trilogy and stuff. Like, he got better in each fight, so I would expect those kind of small lapses to be kind of like cleaned up with Volk. But at the same time, like, the whole reason he hasn't fought like this recently is it was an eye injury that kind of held him out. And just with kind of the extra father time of the year. And I think Diego, if he wants to win this fight, he can't show Volk the same amount of respect that he showed him in the last fight. He was very tentative. So I think he just needs to, you know, come forward, be aggressive, and when it's necessary, cut off the cage. And I do see him. I feel terrible picking against Volk in this scenario because I do not want to see Volk lose. But these scenarios kind of always replay themselves, and especially with it being the rematch, I just got a really bad feeling. So this will be my first and new of the year. Give me Diego Lopes.
Oh man, you make a lot of great points, Bobby. But you're right. Like, one thing that you and I thought about this earlier was like, Volk just looks always, so, and I know it's the Max. He looks so much better when he gets after he's like fought a guy. You know what I mean? Every time well, I guess the second fight was close, right? Like with the Max fight, but the third fight wasn't even close. So there was that. I mean, Volk is just so good. You know, his 3 out of his 4 losses, he lost to some guy we don't even fucking know his name. And then the other 2 are, you know, the other 3 are to double champs, Ilya, obviously, in Islam and Islam. So, really the first Islam fight was close. The second Islam fight, he took that on short notice. Probably should have never took the fight. You could probably say the same thing about Ilya. I did say that once Volk loses his title, he's hanging it up. I just don't know if that's on Saturday night, Bobby. I like Diego Lopes. I probably picked Diego Lopes initially. I just think in the rematch, Volk will be smarter. And I know Father Time's a motherfucker and it comes for us all. I'm going. And still UFC featherweight champion Alexander the Great Volkanovski, baby.
I really hope you're right. I
think it's by decision. I think he gets it done by decision, and I think it's going to be a fun, entertaining fight. The last fight was a fun fight. It was a good fight, and I expect the same here. Diego always brings it. I just don't know if he'll be able to get Volk out of there.
Yeah, and Volk on points makes obviously the most sense. And it's almost hyperbolic too, because when we did the post show for that Miami card, I remember being very explicit. Like, if we ever see this matchup again, I would pick Volk and not even think about it. And it is kind of bizarre that where this point, I don't feel good about it. But, beating the fuck out of John Silva should buy you some good grace somewhere.
Yeah, no, I mean, Diego looked pretty good in his last fight. I've always been a Diego Lopes fan. I've always been a Volk fan as well. So I like both. It's hard, and
I also don't think he retires if he loses.
I do. I think once he loses, he retires.
I just don't see him going out with a loss. Like, he just seems like the type of guy to chase it because he knows.
Let me ask you this though. Here's the question mark, and this could be and I'll ask this again on Wednesday, or we'll know more on Wednesday. Obviously, next week's show. If he loses, I was thinking about this. Are they going to run this back for a third fucking time? You have to, right? It's 1-1.
The other reason I was not too keen on the rematch, because obviously you set up a trilogy, but
the trilogy that nobody asked for.
Yeah, I actually think
unless Volk retires, but like then I got to thinking, if he loses to Diego, like they'd probably just let him run it right back, right? Because it's 1-1.
I think Diego would also give it to him because he kind of, Volk's willing to fight anyone. But, like who knows if the priority would be like going after the title. I could also see him just wanting a fresh matchup, trying to get that victory, and then using that to, get back up there, even though he would obviously deserve it with the trilogy. But, that's going to be a really infuriating question to answer next Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll have that answer next Wednesday. Real quick, Bobby, it seems like Netflix is back in the boxing business, but the fight that nobody's going to care about, I think this will do the least amount of numbers you'll see, and that's the return of Tyson Fury versus some guy never heard of.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as much of a squash matchup as people are making it out to be, and maybe it's just because of the fucking hot dog eating contest we've gotten from Netflix. I just kind of like that they're doing an actual, like, real boxing event other than Canelo Crawford. So just like for the future of the sport, I think it's a good thing. I think it could even have a little ramifications with certain decisions with the UFC too. I know they're all married to Paramount, but who knows if Connors just really tries to get out with having one fight or something, and people are going to see that Netflix payday and get envious. But I do think it's a much better thing for the sport than Zuffa boxing, that's for sure.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. There's Zuffa boxing will be back on Sunday as well, live at the glorious, mighty Metaplex. So
I ain't even mad at that. Like, I couldn't tell you who the fuck was fighting on it, but like Sunday fights is something I wish they would do more.
Yeah, no football, especially with no football. There's not shit on, so.
Yeah, hopefully they got an event the following. Oh, wait, no. Is this week the Pro Bowl?
Yeah.
Thank you, Zuffa, for giving me. I mean, I wouldn't watch that shit anyways, but that should be good. Tune in.
Yeah, and that's when I'll probably be watching the Royal Rumble. So, I'll be tuning into that. You're going to tune into the Rumble?
If I find a link or something, I have kind of refused to sign up to the ESPN Unlimited yet, but they're kind of roping me in with the PFL, and I'm tired of it. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't really have high hopes for it with it being in Saudi Arabia.
I could send you a link. I got a link if you want one.
For sure. Yeah, I'll check that out. And that brutal. I don't know. Like the Saudi Arabia factor takes so much out of it.
Not a fan.
Like one of the events I enjoy. Normally.
The Rumble is probably my favorite. Probably my favorite event of it all.
Yeah.
Not a fan that it is in Saudi. Don't think we're gonna get I hate it because the crowd reaction's shite. So yeah, It's not. I feel like wrestling is like the best wrestling is it more than even like the UFC and MMA is crowd dependent. You know what I mean? Like, and you just don't get it there.
Yeah, and by that WrestleMania is going to be equally terrible.
Yeah. I will watch. I'm not gonna lie, because it is my favorite event, one of my favorite events to watch, and I'm always interested. So I will be tuning in. But I will be a day late. I will probably already know who the winner is before I know, but I always still watch. So,
well, if I'm not mistaken, Ryan Clark stupidly leaked the winner on First Take talking to Seth Rollins. So a lot of people might already know.
Who did he say was winning? I missed this. Who did he say was winning?
I think he said that Seth was winning.
Seth may not even be in it. He's injured, so that'd be if he returns, it would be a surprise.
But that's my point. Like, stupid ass fucking Ryan Clark gave that away.
Well, I mean, that's better than Stephen A. Smith telling Ryan Clark he should have interviewed and got the job for the Steelers. So,
yeah, let's not make this a Ryan Clark podcast. We'd be here another hour.
Our First Take podcast, you know what I mean? So
I mean, PC sent me the clip of it, and because we always clown on Ryan Clark in this space. So, but when I saw that, I could not stop laughing. So yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll switch it up.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. I'll be tuning in. My prediction for the Rumble, I think it's going to be. Initially, I was thinking Sami Zayn. Now I'm not too sure. I think it's probably going to be Braun Breaker, but I'm hoping for like Jacob Fatu or Sami Zayn would be great. The women's, my pick is Liv Morgan. So there's that.
I mean, that's probably like plus 50 million.
What? For Liv Morgan? I think she's the betting favorite. She's the betting.
Yeah, heavily.
Yeah,
you know she's winning that. It ain't no question.
So,
and
Roman Reigns was the betting favorite for the men's there for a while, so that'll be interesting. Or if LA Knight comes back and wins, I wouldn't hate that. Also, maybe possibly see the return of Chris Jericho.
I don't even want to break your heart. Like, you have all the like optimistic, like this would be awesome.
It's one sport, Bobby, that I love. It reminds me of my childhood. So like, I feel like a kid again when I'm surprised by wrestling.
But when they fuck it up, it reminds me of when they used to fuck it up when I was a kid. So like, it brings back like, you're still doing this. Like, how can you not learn from your mistakes?
Yeah. I love being surprised by it. When I'm
you're extra surprised. I will not text you the spoiler.
When I'm surprised, that's when I love it the most, because like, oh shit, they can still pull it over me, and most of the time they can't. Like, I already can read, and I'm not reading dirt sheets. I just can read the tea leaves, you know. So, yeah. All right. Well, we'll be back next Wednesday, 8:00 Central, 9 Eastern, folks. We'll talk all the results of UFC 325, and everything else. And I think, are they live at the Apex? I think next Saturday, maybe the glorious Apex. I think it is. So we'll talk about that card as well. We'll even maybe talk a little Super Bowl or something. Other than that, folks. For my guy Bobby Blunt's, I'm Bodkins. We'll catch you on next Wednesday. Be a friend, tell a friend, like, subscribe, share. You know what to do. We'll see you then. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the fights. There's going to be some bangers. Let's hope.
Enjoy the fights.
Thanks so much for joining us, and until next time, let's talk sport, friends. Thanks for watching.